Hello and welcome to Warno's brave new meta. The unit you see highlighted on the left costs 20 points, comes at 12 availability, can target aircraft and helicopters. The unit on the right costs 35 points, cannot target helicopters, takes increased suppression because it is reservist. Basically, the ZPU-4 towed AA gun, you just walk it across the map and shoot people with it. I do apologise, this is the second time I've recorded this. The first time my microphone wasn't working. But take a good look at this bad boy. 5 strength. Going up against reservists, 35 points. And they are 9 strength, right? But they are reservist. So this is just incredibly efficient. If we look at the card, you'll see that this comes at 12 per card. It's resolute as well. Whereas reservists, KDA Schutzen in this case, right, the Belgian reservists are the same, come at 12 per card as well. But they cost more. So, as you can see, reservist in cover, gets the first shot, deals basically no damage, and the ZPU opens up and stuns the reservists within about 2 seconds. But they are reservists, right? They are reservists. Let's show you the next clip. As you can see, this costs as much as this, does not kill this anywhere near as fast, does not make it low cohesion in 3 seconds or whatever. It is doing decent damage, but it can be targeted by ATGMs, unlike the ZPU, which cannot be targeted by ATGMs, and cannot be targeted by infantry. Here we've got Special Forces, 6-man squad, costs about 75 points. On the left, they're in cover, they're 2 vet, they're set up, right? Special Forces. On the left, you've got ZPU-4, 20 points. Who's going to win? Well, you see, the snipers team here got a very lucky stun there. To get stunned with that much suppression is very lucky. So they got a very lucky stun there. And if you pay attention to this health bar down here, as the fight progresses, did you see that? Ammo explosion crit takes off 2 HP. And then it dies. So these guys, 75 points, Special Forces with a sniper, one of the better squads, 6 men, would have lost that fight if it were not for that lucky crit. And they're in a building. So this is basically the new meta, right? You can do it with anti-tank guns as well, but they're not as oppressive. And you can do it with the ZPUs and some other AA guns, towed AA guns. Not all of them. We'll get on to which ones do it and which ones don't. The thing with the anti-tank guns is, actually, it's probably worth saying, this was a really good game. If you want to see the full game, if this video gets 200 likes, I will cast the full game. I can't cast all the games. I'm very tired and so on. But yeah, if there's enough interest, if this video gets 200 likes, I will go back and cast this game. It was a pretty interesting game. The anti-tank guns aren't as egregious, and there's a few reasons why. This has 3 HP instead of 5. That's the main one. And look at the prices. This is the worst one, and it is literally terrible. It can't shoot infantry. And it's got 2 HP. But then this is the next step up. Can shoot infantry, right? Can't shoot at most vehicles because it's only got 14 pen. But 45 points. 50, 80. 3 HP. This costs 20. Has more HP. So yeah, this is the cool new meta. You just move these around. So this is another thing you do. You just buy them and unload them in front of the enemy. They've got 5 HP. It doesn't really matter. These cost 20 points each. There are 2 of them. This costs 35. And stuns him up basically straight away. Another problem you've got with facing these is that they're very likely to start fires. And that forces units to move, which means often they're not shooting, or they're shooting with far reduced accuracy. They've got to re-aim, stuff like that. And because these shoot so fast, they have a very high chance of starting fires. You see, it started one here, and it started one here. This costs 20 points. One of these costs 20 points. This is better. It can also shoot at helicopters. It can also shoot at planes. and it cannot be targeted by ATGMs, and so on. This is another advantage of the AA guns. They have good stealth. So even though this ZPU is lighting me up like a Christmas tree, I can't see him. The T64BV will one-shot the M113 because it's classed as a vehicle, right? So it works off the penetration mechanics. He did miss there twice, which was actually really unlucky. But it would take 5 hits to kill this because it's classed as infantry. This is just an example of having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units shooting this one thing. I focused it down with everything because I knew how OP it is. It's got 5 HP. Look how long it takes to die. I'm shooting it with literally everything. He's getting stunned up constantly. And in the one volley he managed to shoot, did a lot of things hit. This is not a reservist unit. This is Mech Fusiliers, one of the most cost-effective 40-point squads in the game. There's only 5 of them left, same as the ZPU-4, right? But the Mech Fusiliers, they're coming at 2 vet. They cost twice as much as this. They have 3 MGs, and right now they're at 5 strength. So, Mech Fusiliers shoot first. ZPU aims. Start the clock. 25:07. Routed. 25:05. 2 seconds. The closer you get, the stronger the effect. This can't use its AT on that. This one unit is superior to these 2 units. One of these costs twice as much as this. So, the last thing is how you deal with it. You basically always have to have a tank or an IFV on hand to kill these. They're 20 points each, and you get 12 of them. So here's the IFV coming in. Skipped too far ahead there, too much of a zoomer. IFV's at 2 vet as well, and then I tell them all to attack at once. This is doing decent damage against this, but the IFV starts a fire, and the fire makes the ZPU move. If that hadn't happened, there is no doubt in my mind that the ZPU would have stunned this, then stunned this, then stunned this, and then started killing them all. So, that's the brave new meta, but it's not for all towed AA guns. Which towed AA guns is it for? If you use something like the Bofors L70, this is the War-Yes damage calculator. Very, very useful. The important column here is the average column. Average time to kill, average time to suppress. Optimal assumes 100% accuracy, which the unit doesn't have. And we're targeting Grenadier Voltigeurs here. It's nothing personal against the French people, simply because they have 10 HP, and there's actually very few squads in the game these days that have 10 HP. So, Bofors L70, 25 points, 9 availability, will kill this squad in 107 seconds. That's alright at max range. A Grenadier Voltigeurs will kill this squad in 90 seconds at max range. Having said that, max range is 850, and this costs 55 points, whereas the one we just saw cost 20. It was 25. So 90 seconds there, scrubbed down to 850 meters, 97 seconds. Okay, not the end of the world. Flak S60. This one's got a problem where it aims in 2.5 seconds, unlike every other AA gun. 159 seconds. Not so bad. FK22 on TKS, 101 seconds. Not so bad. The FK22 Zwillinger will kill the unit at max range in 43 seconds, and it will suppress it fully in 13.6 seconds. Full suppression is very important, because if a unit is fully suppressed, it's basically dead. Right, so 33 seconds here, literally half the time here. If I were to compare this to a BMP2, oh, that's the wrong one. 20mm, my bad. Oh, I'll just edit this part out. If I were to compare the Zwillinger to a BMP2, 43 seconds. BMP2, arguably the most cost-efficient unit in the game, 73 seconds. Right? And keep in mind, one of them's a lot cheaper. BMP2 can die in one hit to an ATGM. This can't be targeted by ATGMs. The ZPU, which we've spoken about, 12 availability, 55 seconds. It is twice as good as this, the Bofors, which costs more, and you get fewer of them. Last one, the ZU-23-2, 54 seconds. This is on a lot of divisions, but this particular one is just on the Polish div. But this thing's everywhere. So, what's going on here? The Bofors L70 has 10% accuracy. It's okay. The Flak S60 has 10% accuracy. It's okay. The FK22 has 10% accuracy. It's okay. The overperforming ones, this one has 20%. This one has 20%. This one has 15%. So, how would I fix the problem? I would lower the accuracy of this to 10%, this to 10%, and this to 10%, and most of the problem would go away. The other thing is this shouldn't have 5 strength. Anti-tank guns have 3 strength, and they're nowhere near as oppressive. So I would like, if I was in charge, I'm not, right, to bring this in HP down to 3 or 4. The reason I say 3 is because anti-tank guns are 3, and they're not really a problem. And the reason I say 4 is because MMG teams are 4. So, which divisions can you abuse this on? There's a few divisions where you get these tools, right? So something like 35Y has access to the ZU, and it also has access to the Skreshet, which is a mounted ZU. So you can abuse that quite a bit. And it also has the wheeled ZU, you can abuse that as well. So the VDV divisions, you can do it a bit on. KDA gets access to 2 cards of really good, really OP AA. This one and this one. Keep in mind that this is an S60. So this has lower DPS than this. Even though, you know, this is 20 points, you get 12 of them. It's got Resolute. This is 65. It's got lower DPS than this. But KDA in general isn't that strong a division. The real winner is the division we saw in the video, 6th. Why? Because, 6Y, Y, ha 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 ha. This is actually a really good div anyway, and it can also abuse this really OP cheese. So that's probably the best div to do it on. Urgent Alerts, you can also do it on 2nd Panzergren and 5th Panzer, which are already very meta decks, and they get the Zwillinger, which is the good one. You can't do it on TKS because it gets 2 of the bad ones. So go forth and multiply. You know how these things get fixed. Make it a problem, then they'll solve it, and I'll see you around. GG.